It's always exciting. It's never, it's always different, and the weather is always going to be different. It's always going to be different exercise. It's never the same thing. And yeah, I just love it every time I go up for a flight. And the view too, it's just absolutely amazing. My name is Mika. I'm 19 years old, and I'm with the aviation program here at Algonquin College. I started the program with 0 hours, nothing, no knowledge of aviation whatsoever.
My name is Kayla Tendensky, and my program is Aviation Management. I decided that I've always liked traveling and always liked the thought of being in the air, so I figured might as well go through to be a pilot. And
Tyler Gledhill. I'm in the Aviation Management program here at the college. So I was working in IT, and I got essentially challenged to do something I'd never done before that I've always wanted to do, which was fly a plane. Without realizing it, because aviation's so worldwide, there's so many people involved, but it's a very small community.
I like that, even though it's a huge industry, that it's actually very small at the same time. I try and get involved in as many galas and things as I can for the women in aviation side of things. But anytime I go to a gala, I see someone that I already know, and you're just always meeting new people, which is nice.
I think the biggest problem we had was the number of people in the program compared to the capacity of the flying schools we used to be able to fly. So one of the biggest changes this year was more for the first years, but it's had a really big effect on us as well, is they cut the program size in half.
We have hour requirements and certain requirements to get into certain core courses within our program. And recently they changed the hour requirements starting this year to be lower, which is nice for people who don't get as much flying time because of weather and just by chance we're not supposed to fly on those days that the weather's bad, and then they change, and so it's a little bit easier for people to get through it if they don't have the hours and stuff, which is nice. So that's definitely been a major change, and I think pushed a couple of people through that wouldn't have been able to go through before. So
with the weather and stuff like that, it's really hard to get the flight hours in, and within 2 years, 250 hours wasn't really something that we could hit with no flight experience before we get in the program. So I think that's a really good positive change for a lot of people around the program, and I think it'll help a lot of students go through the program faster.
And it does give everybody the opportunity to be flying a lot more, which is obviously a really good thing. But yeah, it's just hard because there's such a demand in the industry to have to cut the class size in half. Having 50 hours shaved off when it costs, $400 or $500 an hour to fly, is huge.
It's really dependent on the student, right? Because not everyone learns the same way, and it might take a student a minute more hours. So it might take a student 220 hours to get all the ratings and all the licenses done, but it might take a student 200 hours, right? So it's really dependent to the student itself.
For me personally, being a female in the industry has been pretty good because I've had a lot of support, and it's obviously evolving, so I think everyone's becoming a little bit more understanding, but there's still the people that don't really understand it. And if I say, or they ask me what are you in school for, and I say oh, I'm becoming a pilot, and they're like, oh, a flight attendant, and I say no, I'm in school to be a pilot, and they're like, oh really, you're a pilot, you're a girl, and I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm still going to be a pilot. So there's still some people out there, but for me it's been okay. There's ups and downs, but
I love being up north. I vacation with family up on Lake Superior all the time. So I would actually love to get kind of my float rating and be able to fly bush planes up north for a while.
So I'm hoping to graduate in June, and if that works out, I'll maybe become a flight instructor for a year or two at Rockcliffe or Ottawa, wherever it takes me. And then I'm hoping to go with an Orange, which is a medevac airline that deals with patients up north and bringing down to Ottawa and Montreal.
Jump in and do it, and join mentorship programs, get involved. A big thing that has helped me is getting involved and meeting so many new people to help support you through the process.